leftists often say everything is political, and for once, I'm actually going to agree. And I want to go into depth of why I agree, and talk about what the role that the entertainment space and the things that I want to go over about how everything is political. So if you've noticed and how you've seen that leftists have basically taken over every institution of every type of media and entertainment, as well as the traditional institutions of schools, universities, all of this, and they've been able to take over them and dominate them in such a way to the point where you cannot assert yourself in any meaningful way, because if you do and you say something towards traditional family values, or anything that is remotely determined to be like right-wing values, then you're going to be ousted, you're going to be deprived, you're going to be basically ostracized completely, to the point of detriment. So if I may, I want to explain why everything actually is political. So the for a long time, since Gamergate, I followed Gamergate. I didn't really necessarily participate directly, but I was there during that time, and I watched everything happen live. And I watched a lot of the people like Sargon talk about a lot of these different things, and what they were basically asserting is that these institutions, aside from the corruption, that they were now pushing, the identity politics, and they were trying to push these different sort of social justice messages onto video games. And when they were trying to do this, and they were trying to assert this, they were just, Sargon and those were just like, no, 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 we need to keep everything apolitical. And if you look at it now, and you see that every single game is a leftist game, pretty much. I mean, there are rare exceptions, but they're generally speaking, every game is a leftist game. All of the all of the entertainment space makes leftist movies. They make leftist entertainment in general. They don't. There is no right wing entertainment at all anymore in the mainstream. Now there are some things like Daily Wire, but they're trying to make their own thing. But generally speaking, the overall perspective is that these are leftist entertainment, and leftist media that has been pushed down every institution, and we see it even to recently. BattleTech it has now ousted somebody that they thought was right wing from their company, because simply because he was right wing, and they need to get him out to be able to push more leftist messaging into a simple um, strategy game that is that has like a figure strategy game kind of thing. So th- what I was talking with in Twitter with the Shagsworth, go give him a follow on Twitter. I was sort of doing a back and forth with him at one point, probably like last month or so, and what he and I think Epic Mike and another person that you should follow. They're both good dudes, but they both think that the media and entertainment can be neutral, and they think that there is a capability for it to not have a political slant. And what he didn't understand what I meant, and I'm going to explain it here, and why I said that. Okay, I want my entertainment to be right wing, and that doesn't mean it has to be a message based entertainment, but every entertainment has a message underlying it. And if you watch it and you pay attention, and you are capable of siphoning out the messaging from the entertainment, then you can see why that I would want my entertainment to be right wing. So what do I mean by I want my entertainment to be right wing? Well, let's assume that I'm gonna be going to watch a new movie, and if I go to watch the new movie, I would like for them to have a traditional family if they are going to involve families. Maybe there's stories about good traditional family values, but it doesn't have to necessarily convey the family values. It just needs to have a good, solid traditional family, and it needs to have a good, solid moral basis. So that it means that the movie should not promote or encourage extreme degeneracy and just extreme insane behavior, like to people to go trans your kid or whatever. There should be no promotion of extreme insane behavior like leftist behavior. It should promote right wing behavior and order and structure in that way, and it should promote the hierarchy of society, and how that the hierarchy is good as long as the hierarchy is just, and that is what I would like to see in my entertainment. If you have this is why I rail against the current sort of climate of the ever anti-hero, and the all the heroes are villains, kind of like the boys or whatever. This is why I rail against this kind of stuff, because I see it as a promotion of just saying that oh, screw the system, like nobody the heroes are bad, no one is a good guy, no one is a good guy anymore. And but we need real good positive figures that are in these positions. We need good strong structures to uphold the people in society, and it should promote a good society and a just society. It shouldn't promote a society where people are attacked on the streets like New York. People, there is insane drugs in like California. It should promote a positive vision of society, as I would see it. So that's one of the things that's the main sort of reasoning why that I want the entertainment to be right wing. But why can't you have apolitical stuff? You might ask. And this, the dissident right has a great points about this. They talk about the myth of neutral institutions, and there are no neutral institutions. And this is why I've been sort of saying, as my own sort of phrase that I've been using, the law of neutrality is that there is no neutrality. And if you try to remain neutral, you're going to be swayed to one side or the other. And if you say, well, I want to be apolitical, and then one side is just saying, no, please come over here just a little bit, come on, you want to, buddy, you want to, then ultimately your worst nature of yourself is going to say, well, if I throw in some leftist BS, it'll be still be okay. I don't have to. It doesn't have to be a right wing movie. So I can throw a little bit of leftism BS in there, and it'll still be a good movie because I made a good movie. Whatever that is. Um, and if you view it that way, you're always going to be swayed by the side that is asserting itself constantly, and with sort of the left ideas asserting themselves ever constantly, ever present in all things, um which is why they say everything is political, because everything has been political. We just didn't realize that it was being swayed in this way until finally it got to the point where everything is overtly political. So everything has always been political, whether you've seen a movie about a traditional family, whether you've seen a movie about some sort of like leftist revolution, people fighting back and overthrowing the bourgeoisie, as it were, to enact their socialist utopia. Any of these can be political. They just were never overtly political like it is now. Now it's the future is female, all this kind of stuff, and when you see all of these sort of open things being said in the films and actually articulated through the medium, it's openly instead of through sort of subtle nuances. Now you know that these institutions have been captured, and they're basically asserting their dominance to be able to say, this is left wing entertainment, this is left wing media, and you're gonna like it because we have all the power and we have all the institutions, we have everything captured, and you have no say. And this is why, and they're right because you have no say, and this is why trying to say, oh well, it should be apolitical or it should be, no, you're going to be swayed in one way or another if someone keeps pushing at you and saying, hey, we need a little bit of leftism, a little bit of leftism, then you're going to eventually be swayed, and it's going to be a another co-opted institution, and then you're just going to be another leftist institution, just like the all the rest of them. So there is no neutrality in these entertainment spaces. You've seen it over and over again. There are numerous examples, and until you finally stand up and say, "Well, gosh, I'm right wing, and I need right wing entertainment, and I need a positive vision of the right wing future," and these things need to be presented to other people, because if you even the normies, if you present them this sort of positive ordered vision of the future, then they are going to be much more receptive to sort of our dissident ideas, as opposed to being captured by the current sort of liberal world order. And that it's funny that they've recently talked about that, because that's what it is. It's the liberal world order, that all of these things are run by this sort of liberal mindset of laissez-faire, life, and less about the laissez-faire, sort of capitalism, but more about laissez-faire principles of not having any principles and not having any standards for anything, just basically saying whatever goes. And that's going to be the result of, the resulting entertainment is worse. It doesn't have any positive meaning to attribute to the world. It can only attribute malice and destruction and chaos throughout the world. So it offers nothing for people to actually like strive to. And that's why I'm saying there is, everything is political. And when you start acting like it, when you start trying to assert, whether it be through parallelism and actually making your own parallel media entertainment, and doing it the right way, because it needs to be good. It doesn't need to be just right wing, and that was I think the hang up. It needs to be good right wing entertainment. It doesn't need to be have the message per se, but it needs to be a positive attribution of the right wing world that I would want to have. So regardless of what that is, a video game, the movies or books or comic books, all of it needs to have a positive attribution of what the world can be, if we make it a better right wing vision of the world. So that's sort of all I had. Just wanted to talk about the fact that everything is political. And if you enjoyed this sort of topical discussion, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out all the links in the description. And I'll see you next time. This is Trey from Trey's Think Tank, signing out.